Learning Process by Caitlin Hibbs, Christine McCaskill, Andrew McLaurin, Taylor Ramsey, and Chad Rubenegger.
Learning objectives. We have a couple learning objectives, and by the end of this webinar, we hope students will be able to understand the different learning styles and how it applies to adult learning. And we also hope that students will know the differences and characteristics, needs, and styles of adult learning.
What is learning? Learning refers to a relatively permanent change in human capabilities, and it can include knowledge, skills, attitudes, behaviors, and competencies that are not the result of growth process.
We all have a way in which we can best learn. There's a few different learning styles. Someone with visual learning style prefers to observe things. They'll often say like, let me see this. They prefer things like charts, handouts, and demonstrations. Visual learners also are better at learning tasks when they can read instructions or watch someone else do it first. Auditory learners, on the other hand, prefer to learn through listening to the information. They'll say things like, tell me how to do it. An auditory learner is able to perform a new task after listening to the instructions from perhaps an expert on the subject. There are also kinesthetic learners. These people prefer to learn through a physical experience. They'll need to try something else on their own. They'll be able to better perform a new task by going ahead and trying it out personally and learning as they go. Everyone learns differently. It is important for educators and trainers to understand the differences in their students' learning styles so that they can implement best practice strategies into their daily activities, curriculum, training, and assessments.
Learning theories. Each theory about how people learn relates to different aspects of the learning processes. Reinforcement theory proposes that you can change someone's behavior by using reinforcement, punishment, and extinction. Rewards are used to reinforce the behavior you want, and punishments are used to prevent the behavior you do not want. Social learning theory states that learning is a cognitive process that takes place in a social context and can occur purely through observation or direct instruction. Goal-setting theory assumes that behavior results from a person's conscious goals and intentions. Goals influence a person's behavior by directing energy and attention, sustaining effort over time, and motivating the person to develop strategies for goal attainment. Goal orientation refers to the goals held by an individual in a learning situation. Needs theory focuses primarily on needs for achievement. Expectancy theory suggests that a person's behavior is based on three factors: expectancy, instrumentally balance, and finally adult learning theory, which was developed out of a need for a specific theory of how adults learn.
Malcolm Knowles' adult learning theory. So Malcolm Knowles is kind of the face of the learning theory. He theorized that adult learners have unique characteristics. His adult learning theory was formulated out of a need to find out how adults learn. Malcolm introduced the term androgyny, which describes the science of helping adults learn.
Knowles' model is based on several assumptions. 1, adults have the need to know why they are learning something. 2, adults have a need to be self-directed. 3, adults bring more work-related experiences into their learning situation. 4, adults enter a learning experience with a problem-centered approach to learning. 5, adults are motivated to learn by both extrinsic and intrinsic motivations.
Motivate adults to learn. Adults need a practical approach to learning. How will the new material help them to achieve a goal? Adults are task-oriented. How does the task relate to them? Adults remember the material learned when they are able to put it to use. When can I use this information? Adults learn best when they are treated like adults. I am not a child, so don't treat me like one. Adults like variety. Use various ways to learn the material to determine a learning style. Adults set exact goals for themselves. How am I doing? Am I on task?
Determine learning styles and use as a way to help adults learn. Visual learner learns best by seeing. Auditory learner learns best by hearing. And kinesthetic learner learns best by feeling or experiencing. Individuals are most effective when they are able to use their own learning style to understand and retain information. The key to teaching adults is to understand how they learn. I most focus on the individual characteristics of the adult learner. Do not ignore adult needs, skills, or previous experiences when teaching/training.
Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to our webinar. We really appreciate it, guys.